When I was 6 years old, I used to go swimming, I used to play tennis, I used to do roller skating, and I happened to be a little bit better at tennis, I guess, than the other things. And actually, I was a very good child. So I used to love studying. I used to not want to miss school at all, ever. I was a very boring child. So I was never a part of like any big shararat plans. I wanted to just study, and this. So for me, a big decision was whether I wanted to study or become a tennis player, and that's the decision I needed to make. I felt that I had to sacrifice one thing for the other, and I felt that I loved tennis too much and I was too passionate about it to let it go, but I was very particular that I wanted to finish my schooling. I did a proper school. I did my board exams, I gave 11th, 12th, I did my boards in 12th as well from a normal school. I never did correspondence. And then I went to college for about a year and a half, and then after that it just got too difficult to manage after that. I loved the game from the beginning, but I was obviously too young to make a decision at that time, as to what I wanted to do. But I think when I was around 12, I wanted to become a professional tennis player, and I followed that dream, and I wanted to be the best first in our state, then our country, and then obviously in the world. I've been fortunate enough to be able to achieve all those goals in my life. I think I'm a normal, somewhere, behind that tennis player and that person who dreamt of becoming the best in the world and everything and representing India. Somewhere there's still that young, normal girl who wants to do normal things like any other girl and dress up and get ready. So I've always been like that. I was never really a big tomboy in terms of my dressing, even though all my best friends are guys, I always hung out with guys and everything. So I've been a tomboy in that sense, but I've never been a tomboy. I always wanted to dress up and look nice, and so that's the little small, normal young girl that I still have in me.
So like I said, I was 6 when I started playing, and I came from a place, Hyderabad, which at that point wasn't one of the biggest cities. For a girl and her parents, I was the only child at the time, and for a girl to say, one day I want to play Wimbledon. We were made fun of, we were ridiculed, my parents at that point. And then the norm of, oh, Kali ho jayegi, shadi kaun karega. And I'm sure every girl in this room at some point has been told, ki, oh, you're looking so tan, what happened? Or I have gotten that all the time. Ki, Dhoop mein bahti, I was like, that's my job, guys. I am in the sun. So the thing is that, so that was the initial years. Then later, for even people to sit up and believe that the fact that a girl wants to be at that level and is dreaming of being at that level.
So I think the point I'm trying to make is the attitude. A woman does not have to be in the kitchen only and cook and have kids. A woman can be a professional sports person, and playing tennis or playing cricket or playing any other sport doesn't have to be recreational for women. And that's the attitude we need to change as a nation. For many years I've been asked this question time and again, why don't we see anyone after you? Why is there never? And I always used to come up, saying, there's talent and one day it'll come up. But today I've begun to realize that, like everyone said, there's one flash in the pan every 20 years, but it doesn't happen in our country like that, because we don't have that system that supports women. We don't have the system that encourages women to take up sport, and that's the system and attitude we need to change as a nation. I knew sitting back home 2 days ago that, there's not going to be a cricket match because of the rains in the newspaper, and the Indian players are, doing this, and the Australian players are doing that. I never see anything about any other women sports person ever being written of whether what she's going to be doing if there's no match being played, or what she will do. So I think that whether it's media, whether it's people, whether it's us women, we need to believe firstly. We need to understand that as much as we talk about equality, we do live in a man's world, and we have to fight for it. So when I came out 10 years ago, I was slated because I spoke my mind, I had an opinion, I spoke English. I was slated to be brash, I was slated to have a lot of attitude, I was slated to be arrogant. But it wasn't, I just had an opinion about things, and I've stuck to my guns, and here I am today. I think that I do agree that a lot of the women sports people that we have had and have right now should get into administration, because I think women understand women and understand the struggles we go through. I am a professional sports person. I still play. The minute I got married, the first question I was asked 2 months into my marriage was when I was going to have a baby. And I used to think that's a very inappropriate question, first of all, to ask someone you don't know. And secondly, I used to think, just because I got married, it doesn't mean that I need to have a baby. How come my husband is never asked when he's going to have a baby? He got married too. So this is the attitude. I think that I'm just trying to make a point that I think it's the attitude of people that needs to change for us to move forward in anything, whether that's in sport, whether that's in women in general. Billie Jean King many years ago fought because there were 8 women. I don't know if many people know this story. She was a great tennis player. She was the pioneer who got WTA and formed the Women's Tennis Association. And they wouldn't give us recognition as an association, and the men used to get prize money, and they had a whole association and the women didn't. And Billie Jean King actually challenged a player called Bobby Riggs at the time and told him to play a match against her and said that if I beat you, we are going to have an association. And everyone laughed. Bobby Riggs made fun of her. The whole media was there for the first time in history of tennis, and she beat him. And today we are at par, making a couple of $1 million, couple of £1 million, the same amount as men do when we win Wimbledon. So I think that as women, we need to learn to stand up for ourselves and stand up to fight, and only then others will respect us. And respect the fact that if we are a girl and we want to play a sport, it doesn't need to be recreational. We don't have to be a doctor, we don't have to be a teacher, you can be, you don't have to be. If you love running, you run. If you love swimming, you swim. If you love playing cricket, you play cricket. And I had supportive parents, fortunately. I come from a family of 2 girls. We were never made to feel that, even though my whole family is into cricket, we were never made to feel that, we were ever missing a boy in our family. And I think that's the attitude we need in general in this country to move forward. And I urge parents, I urge the media, I urge the corporates to come forward and actually believe that women can be as famous. And I think that we need to not suppress women when they come out and speak. When women in this part of the world speak up for themselves, they're slated to be rebels. They're slated to be people or women who don't value relationships and families, and that's the world we live in, and that's the reality. And that attitude needs to change for us to move forward.